Tonight, there's new information about a carjacking in downtown LA this morning. Now we're learning the truck belonged to the sheriff's department.
And KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk now. Mike, you have been speaking with the department and your sources on this story.
Yeah, you know, Pat and Juan, and we have learned that this utility type truck was carjacked with 2 Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies inside of it early this morning in downtown LA. And I just wanted to show you a photo that we just got off of a flyer that is being distributed internally within the sheriff's department. You can see it was a utility type, one of those cherry picker trucks. Now, what we know is that the deputies were inside of it. I know from a source that one of the deputies was actually in the bucket in the back there. The other one was in a different part of the truck when we know that this suspect came up, and according to the sheriff's deputy who's actually just texted me right now, a deputy struggled with the suspect and sustained some minor injuries, was treated at a local hospital. They're describing this as an all-purpose utility vehicle. They say it was later recovered in the 14,900 block of Southwestern Avenue in Gardena, so a long way from where it was stolen in downtown Los Angeles. We'll show you some video here from the scene this morning as the sheriff's department and the LAPD tried to investigate the situation. I am told cell phones were taken, 4 of them, 2 personal, 2 county cell phones belonging to those deputies. Right now, they are still looking for a suspect, which I'm just now being told is described as a man, mid-20s, about 6'2", 180 pounds, shaved head, black shirt, and blue jeans. They're asking.
That literally can be anybody. They didn't even say the race of the person. Listen to the description, y'all.
Right now, they are still looking for a suspect, which I'm just now being told is described as a man, mid-20s, about 6'2", 180 pounds, shaved head, black shirt, and blue jeans.
What is his race? Is he black? Is he Hispanic? Is he El Mexico? Is he, what is he? What is he? What is the race of this individual that was out here carjacking sheriffs, taking their stuff, taking their cell phone, beating them up in back of the truck, and then run it off with their stuff? Do the police got diversity, equity, and inclusion? Do they have restrictions on descriptions now? Is he white? Is he black? Bald head, 6'2", 180, muscular build. What does that mean? Did he have tattoos? Was his eyes blue? Was they brown? Thick eyebrows? Did he have a mask on? What is he? How y'all gonna find this person and y'all don't even know what race he is?
We're asking anybody that knows any information about this to please give Los Angeles County Sheriff's Major Crimes Unit a call. And again, this was a utility truck, an unusual type of vehicle for sheriff's deputies to be in at all. You would assume this maybe was part of some undercover surveillance operation that was going on. I am told just now from the sheriff's department that one deputy did go to the hospital and sustained some minor injuries after struggling with that suspect who allegedly carjacked that sheriff's truck, guys.
All right, thanks for the update, Mike.
So that's what's happening over in Los Angeles. You got the sheriffs getting carjacked. And then in addition to that, I think this is over in Illinois.
We now go to that breaking news on a Hell's Kitchen this morning. A man is dead following a late night shooting.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was in New York.
Near the Port Authority bus terminal.
I want to go to Good Day's Haley Fixler. She is live from the scene with what we know so far, and it looks like they're still looking for the suspect or suspects, Haley.
Good morning, Dan, Tashani. Yeah, police are still searching for the person responsible for shooting a man in the head last night. Now, they actually just opened up this section of 42nd and 8th Avenue after working on this investigation for hours. So here is what we know this morning. We know that police say a man wearing all black ran away from this scene after the shooting. Investigators, they're trying to figure out why this man was shot. They're working to determine if it was random, maybe a robbery or a dispute. Now, this happened around 11 o'clock near the Times Square, which, of course, is a gun-free zone. However, there have been several recent high-profile crimes here. Last month, NYPD released this video of a gang attacking NYPD officers in Times Square, and investigators say they were trying to stop a robbery at the time. There was also the shooting of a food vendor back in April. This happened after a dispute when apparently the suspect ordered food and then refused to pay. The vendor was shot in the arm after he apparently said he would not give the food away for free. Police in the area tell us they're starting to get concerned for their safety.
It's very scared, actually. I'm a bit afraid now just to go around.
It's Times Square. Things like these keep happening a lot, so I mean, it's scary sometimes.
Again, police still searching for the suspect. They have not made any arrests at this time. They tell us this is an ongoing investigation. Live in Hell's Kitchen.
First of all, let me just say this. Y'all got to be careful in major cities going forward. The Los Angeleses, the New Yorks, even the Miamis, right? The Atlantas, the Houstons. Dallas is not that bad. Dallas is a little better. I like Dallas better than Houston. But when you think about these major cities, these monster cities, y'all got to start being a lot more careful, especially the Chicagos, even the Bostons to an extent. You got to be a little bit more careful walking around in these cities and dealing with these cities because it's almost like they're overpopulated, but then there's no real structure as far as how people feel like they are and aren't supposed to. Part of public safety is the perception that something is going to happen to you bad if you do something wrong, right? There's only so many police officers, but then the reason why it works in most places that public safety works is because the police officers and the detectives have the support of the community. And the community don't mind pitching in, making sure that they know who it is, catching these people, calling Crime Stoppers, whatever. And so when the support of the community actually backs the police officers and the police department and public safety, then people feel less compelled to do things that they're not supposed to do. But when you are operating from the sense of these sanctuary city mindsets and these Democrat city mindsets and everybody can do what they want to do, and if you call public safety that they not actually going to do nothing because they handcuffed from, the thought police and people that want to sue the police department and they don't actually back the police department itself, that's why you see so much crime rampant in hoods and in communities. That's why you see crime rampant in hoods and in communities. You know why? Because ain't nobody gonna snitch. Even though the no snitching code was not supposed to be for people that didn't do crime, we just automatically adopted it and said, hey, police better do their own job, do their job. Well, part of their job is that the people help them by giving them information that they need in order to solve for the crime. Otherwise, you're gonna have these people eventually hitting you. And what you gonna do? Because you don't play by the same rules as people that do stuff that they're not supposed to do. I guarantee you, look, most overwhelmingly, you can talk to any police officer, you can talk to any detective, most crimes are not solved from them going through and getting the evidence and fingerprinting and all of this stuff. It's solved by talking to people that help the police catch the people that's not supposed to be on the street. Go watch the first 48. First thing they do is they start the canvas, knocking on doors. Hey, who got some Ring camera footage? Hey, what did you see? If anybody's seen anything, give me a call. Oh, I got you on this. Okay, hey, go and talk to the foremans. What they saying on the streets? What the snitch is saying? If you want to solve for the problems in your community, the people got to participate. They got to help. Do you know why no snitching started to become a thing in black communities? It wasn't because that's just what the culture adopted. It didn't even start in the black communities. It started with the mob. The mob was on some no snitching stuff because the mob had control over most of the businesses and they had control over most of the money and the commerce that actually went through the communities because they were the form of protection, but at the same time, they was the form of control. So in a way, the mob was self-policing, so they axed out the police because they didn't feel like the police would encroach on the things that they were doing illegally. And so the idea became, you don't snitch, you don't talk, because most of the people in some way, shape, or form was affiliated with the mob. That's how no snitching came to be. But as usual, we Me Too'd the worst parts of everything, and so we then adopted the no snitching rule because the mob didn't do it. No, it's not the same because there is no self-policing. And even though they did illegal crime, they still had some level of standard by which the community still operated. And so when you seen the mob take over the casinos, you seen this and you seen that, They didn't feel like they had a need because they handled the bad actors themselves. We don't handle bad actors ourselves. We just continue to let the people run around and do everything that they want to do and terrorize the community. But then we adopted this mentality that was on some, hey, you don't tell, you don't snitch, you don't say anything about anything or anybody when they do something wrong. And so guess what? It then filtered itself into the worst parts of our community, and now people feel compelled to do stuff without any consequence whatsoever. Why? Because we adopted the worst part of the community.